Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm Vikram Chalana and I have with me Abid, and we are the two creators of Pictory. We have a bigger team than just the two of us, but the two of us are our face to the world. And so today's agenda is we will be covering a demo of Pictory, and while we demonstrate Pictory, we will cover some of the most frequently asked questions that we're getting among the AppSumo users as well as among the Vidnami community. So that's the first part of this session, and then the second part of the session that Abid will cover he'll describe our roadmap, both short term as well as medium term, of what's coming in the next few weeks to few months. So you have a good idea of what we're doing and what we're bringing to market. So first of all, I'd like to express a huge gratitude to our AppSumo customers and all our customers in the last few weeks that have come on board and are really excited about the product and are giving us amazing feedback, and that feedback is founding the basis for our roadmap and for our evolution in the future. So that's with that, I'll basically start into a quick demo of Pictory, and then as I mentioned, we'll talk about the roadmap. So I'm sharing my screen here, and this is Pictory, and I won't cover all the use cases, but I'll cover two main use cases. One is where you start from a script and create a video. And then the second use case I'll cover is where you start from a video and you might want to create snippets from that video. So let's start with the script. And when you start with the script, basically you click that, and now you can copy and paste any script, any text. So I'm gonna just take some text from our website, copy it, and paste it here. Now, one thing I want to remind everybody is that as many sentences and line breaks that you have in this script are the number of scenes you will get. So here there is 3 sentences. One sentence is this one, the second sentence, and the third sentence. So there will be 3 scenes in my final video. So that's the first thing. Then I go to the next step. I choose the size, and now what Pictory does is it looks up our library, our stock library of images and videos. We license much of our content from Shutterstock, but we also have content from other libraries like Pexels integrated in it. So we try to find the best match for every sentence. So remember, there were 3 sentences here, and we found 3 different images or videos related to each sentence. Now, a couple of things I want to point out here. The text that you see here is really easy to edit. You can just double click on it and edit it right here. So I can just delete some text. I can add more text. I can highlight things that I want to highlight. Pictory takes a stab at highlighting in the first pass, but you can say, okay, I want to highlight this as well, and you can do it here. So you can do some basic editing right here. You can change some font sizes as well right here, and so that's one of the most commonly asked questions. You can also move this text box around to fit into your thing, into your scene. Now, the second question that we get asked is, okay, how do I replace, if it finds the visual but I don't like it, how do I replace it? So we have a full search capability here, including some autocomplete. So you can say, okay, maybe this is actually, I was looking for video editing, so I can search for video editing clips, and I search all categories. There's a bunch of categories. If I want to narrow down my search, I can pick the categories, and all I have to do is just press a button, and it will replace that that visual. If I like a visual and I want to search for similar ones, I can also search. There's a little square button here that you'll see next to every visual, and you can say I want to search for something similar. So it searches for other similar visuals to that. So that's one thing. And then you can also upload your own visuals. Here you can drag and drop your own videos or images here, and you can also, if you want a flat text, a blank screen, you can also change and choose solid colors if you don't want a visual at all. So that's one quick thing about visuals. Now let's go into this thing called brand settings, because that is very important. That's another frequently asked question, is how do I change the color schemes that are shown and the fonts and the color schemes that are shown for the text. So that you do all that through our brand settings page. And in the brand settings, the first thing I will show you is the logo. So you can change the logo here. You can say I wanna upload my logo. I wanna show it on the right or the left of the screen, and you can say I wanna show it on all screens, on all scenes. You can. This is where you change your font and your color scheme. You'd say I want this font, and the default size on the intro, on the title scene, is gonna be this much, and on every other scene is going to be this much. So you can change the font, the color, the text color, and all that stuff right here. And then you set the outro. So the outro is the last scene, and you can upload your own visual. It can be an image or a video clip that you can upload right here. Or you can use the logo to create an outro clip. So you can say more at pictory.ai. And it uses the logo and creates an outro scene. So you can do that. You can also add intro scenes. Intro scenes are something that come up first. It can be before the title or any of the scenes. And again, it can be an image or a visual. And when you save it, it's going to ask you whether you want to apply this to all your project, and you can do that as well. Now let's quickly go over and see the audio settings. So this is we have automatically applied a music track. So Pictory picks a music track that will automatically apply to this video. You can also add a machine voiceover, and so there's several voices available here. These are all in English right now. That's the language supported for text to video. So you can pick any of these voices. These are the US accents. And a new control that we have just added in our release today is the ability to adjust the volume of the background music versus the voiceover. If you don't want to use the machine voiceover, you can also record your own voice. So you can just from here you can come in and say I want to record my voice and record it, or you can upload a voiceover that you've recorded elsewhere. So that's a quick overview of this text to video scenario with Pictory. The other thing you will see here is there's a bunch of styles available, and the styles dictate how the text appears on the screen. By the way, the fonts and the color schemes are coming from the brand settings, but the styles dictate how the animation that will be used to show the text. So that's that. And then one other thing that we just recently introduced today is this idea of optimize. So once you're happy with the video, you can preview it, and then once you're happy with the preview, you can generate the video. And this button will control whether you want to generate faster or slower. So the default is fast generation, and you can also change the resolution of the video right here. If you want to create a 720 is the default, you can make it a 1080 video here. So that's a quick overview of the text to video scenario, and I think I covered everything, the volume settings and everything. So now the other thing I wanted to share here today is if you have a webinar and you want to create small clips from a webinar, so the idea would be to upload the webinar here and not here. So we have some people trying to upload webinar clips here, and this one only accepts a 50 megabyte video. I know webinars can be pretty big. They can be sometimes a gig. So we'll support the webinar files. You can upload them here, and you can choose the language of the webinar. So we support several languages here. Again, not all languages are supported, but many different versions of English, French, German, Italian, Spanish, and some Indian languages are supported. So you choose the language here, and then you upload the webinar. So the idea of that language selection is that it actually will transcribe the webinar. So when it's uploaded at the end, what you will see is something like this. You will see the webinar video right here. In this case, it's still loading my video, and I can play parts of it. So
that are getting scheduled.
So here's my video on this side, and the transcript of the video is on this side. So a few things that people want to do usually, and this is a couple of new features here that we've added. So say you want to just download the transcript. So you can download the text file right here as a text format, or an SRT format. You can download it from right here. If you have some errors that you want to correct, you can do it by clicking. So you correct errors at a word level. So you can say, okay, if there is, if you want to spell this going to be talking, you can basically change that. The thing I want you to remember is that you can also delete words, but what happens is when you delete words, they actually get deleted from the video. So if you want to correct errors without deleting words from the video, you want to just highlight the word, maybe merge the words together that you might want to correct, and then edit it from here. So that's one other tip that is tripping people. There is of course other things, like it can help you remove these filler words like us and ums that I had it automatically removed. So when you remove these words, they're not just gone from the transcript, they're actually going to be removed from the video as well. So when I press this button, it will remove those words from the video. Now, one common use case when somebody uploads a whole video is they want to create highlights, little snippets from their webinar video. So say I like this part, this sentence, and I want to create a clip from it. So I can do one of two things. I can generate a video right from here. So it'll just generate this one video, which is going to be about 20 seconds long, and see the video generation is in progress. When it's going to finish, it'll notify me. Or I can say I actually want to create this and add that to my highlights. So I can add this to my highlight. I can go find another section that I want. I can do searches here, and I can say, okay, I want to add this to my highlight as well, and I want to add this these 3 sentences to my highlight, but I want to create actually one video from these 3. So what I usually would do is I would actually merge these into one sentence or one section that gets added to my highlight. So now I have 3 highlights. I can see each one is maybe about 20 seconds long, and I can check all of that and generate all of those 3 highlights as video clips. Anything I set in the brand settings is going to be respected here. So the brand settings is the text, font, the color schemes, the intro, outro, all of that will be respected when these highlights are generated. And also if I want, I can combine this together to generate a 1 minute 19-second video. And so that one is just it's called generate highlights video. So if you click on this generate highlights video, it will generate that one video. The other thing you can do is you can decide whether you want to burn the caption here or not. So you can burn the subtitles here, or you can just say turn it off, and I just want the subtitles file, and you will get the subtitles file at the very end with every video that is generated. If you want to burn the video, this is a new feature that we've introduced. Is basically you can change the maximum number of lines that show up in one time along with the video. So that's a quick introduction, and I just want to make sure we covered all the thing. here. I think we've covered everything that I wanted to share, showing quick way to create highlight videos, quick ways to edit videos. So you can also take, say, a few sentences that I wanna remove from the video. I can just delete these sentences from the video, and they just go away from the video. So deleting the text deletes parts of the video as well. So that's most of what I wanted to cover today. And obviously there's a bunch more features that we have a pretty extensive help library here that you can go through for all the features. And then now what I'll do is I'll pass it over to Abid, and he will share a little bit of our roadmap and what's coming next.
Awesome. Thanks, Vikram. I'm just sharing my screen here. I hope all of you are able to see. Yes. So firstly, thank you so much, all of you, for taking out time. I'm really excited about this session. All your inputs and feedback have been immensely valuable to us, and we are really looking forward for this journey with you and the partnership in order to build a world-class product. So what I will do is, in the next few minutes, just walk you through what Pictory roadmap looks like. And I have put them into 3 simple buckets. Please don't go by the terms like short, medium term, and long term. It's just about what our immediate focus is. And once we finish that, we move on to the other set of items. But the core of all our planning has been primarily driven by the feedback that we have been getting from awesome customers and users like you all. So the immediate focus. The number one item that we hear from all the customers that we are interacting is uploading a voiceover for the entire video and then syncing it automatically with the video scenes. Now, there are 2 approaches to this. One is you can start with a voiceover right on the step 1. Like imagine another box there where there's something called as voiceover to video. You upload your MP3 file, which can be a podcast or a voiceover that you got from your client or from your voiceover artist. And Pictory will then transcribe it, take it to the next step where you can edit the transcription, the words, delete, and then you move to the storyboard where Pictory AI will get the visuals for you. And of course, you can change the visuals and do a lot of edits in that step. So that's one approach. The second approach is a lot of our customers say that, hey, I already have my script ready and also have my MP3. So all I need to do is in the storyboard, just upload my MP3 file and then expect Pictory to auto sync it with all my scenes. So that's another approach. So the point is we aim to cover both these scenarios. I have presented this idea, this workflow with a bunch of you, and you have really liked it. But from the prioritization standpoint, we are currently picking up the scenario where you upload your MP3 on the storyboard and then Pictory will auto sync and give you an option to manually edit that. So expect that to come very soon. That's number one priority. The work has already started. We'll keep you updated as and when the feature is available. The next one, which I would say is again the most critical ask from all of you, is the stock content. We hear you. We hear that the content gets repetitive. You're not finding the kind of visuals that you would love to, especially with some of the experience that you had with Vidnami and the other tools that we're using. Now, this is not a engineering or a functional kind of a requirement, but we are talking to vendors. This is again a very important thing that we want to address as soon as possible. But just maybe in a few weeks' time, we'll have an answer to you as to how we are going to address this problem. So that's on the stock content. And the bunch of other things, which again are a common ask when Vikram and I talk to all of you on different channels, including our help desk. I think among the top 3-4 things that we hear from you is, hey, how do I reorder the scenes? Once I get onto the storyboard, I decide that, hey, the scene number 5 has to come to a different position, let's say 2, and 2 has to go into 5th position. Now, the only way to do it is I delete a scene and add a new scene, which is a more tedious way of doing it. So this is something that we have picked up as an immediate roadmap item. And but again, I want to also emphasize a point, which is again an FAQ. Though it is very tedious, you can still achieve this goal by clicking on the plus button, which will help you add a new scene on the storyboard. And then just below the scene, you have a small delete button over there. once you add a new scene in the desired position, you can delete it from the current position. But expect this reordering to come up pretty soon. The other one is manual control of the scene duration. Now, to give you a little bit of a backdrop, when we started Pictory, our goal was to automate a person who doesn't have a video editing experience at all. Someone who is great at creating content but doesn't want to spend a lot of time, money, and effort in getting the video out. So we wanted to automate as much as possible. So one of the things that we addressed was, hey, let's automate the scene duration as well. And hence we did not look at giving a manual option. But the more we are hearing from the customer, we understand that there will be scenarios where you would like to emphasize on a one particular slide. There might be scenarios where there's a lot of text on the slide and you don't want the slide to go away pretty soon. So in order to address that, we have picked this item. This is also going to come pretty soon in the next few weeks. The other one is improved text editor. Now, we believe that the current editor is doing the job, but again, uh, we also experience that it's not as smooth and it's clunky sometimes when you have to do a lot of edits. So we have already built a prototype which would help you do all of these things much easily. And also it's a more renewed and good looking editor. One common ask again is, hey, can I align the text left, center, or right? So such things would be made possible through a new editor. There's another question that I always get when I'm at the help desk is, can I make the changes that I have done on one scene apply to all the scenes? What we have seen, particularly from the Vidnami user group, is the videos can get a little longer, 15 to 20 minutes long, which have about 40, 50 or more scenes in it. So it becomes tedious to go and change it at a different scene, individual scenes. So with this, you can do that. But again, I want to bring to your attention one FAQ that if you want to change the font type, font size, and color, not just in one scene, but across all scenes, you can very easily do it from the brand setting, like how Vikram showed you. You just open the project in the storyboard, go to brand setting, make the changes that you want in the text, say save in the brand settings, come back to your project, apply to your project, and all those changes which you wanted to see in your text will be applied across your project. So that is one workaround for you in case you want to make these changes applied to all your scenes. Now, the next one is improved workflow for the blog and script to video. Now, over the past few weeks interacting with you, we have realized that we can do some improvements from the UX standpoint, which would help you overcome some of the challenges that I just mentioned over the other points, plus taking inputs from you so that it can bias our AI and help you automate the visual selection, the audio selection as much as possible. So now one of the things that we are thinking about is right in the first step, we'll take input from you like, hey, what's the category of the article or the script that you are planning to create a video belongs to? And then before taking you to storyboard, we will have an intermediate step where we will show you how the scene text would look like. And now another key thing, a lot of you have mentioned to us that, hey, the sub scenes, we have been using this concept of a scene and a sub scene. Let's say a bigger scene broken down to scene 1, scene 1.a, 1.b, 1.c, which is confusing. You see those 3 dots coming over there and a lot of you are not liking that. So we're thinking of getting rid of that and instead give the control back to you as to you to decide how much of text that you want to see in one scene. Sometimes you might have a quotation from a press release and you would want the entire quotation to be shown up in one scene rather than breaking it down into 2 or 3 different scenes. So all of that would be possible when you have this text edit or the script edit step. You can even move around the scenes, reorder them, highlight the keywords, which will get highlighted in your video. Plus, there will be an input to our AI that, hey, for this customer, this particular word is very important. So try and get the visuals which are related to that. You can even merge scenes if you think that, hey, these are too small to form different scenes and I want to just get them in one scene. So all of that can be done through this new workflow. And all you see in this bucket are ones which we and our engineering team are currently focused on trying to roll this out maybe in a few weeks time before we go into our next set of items, which we call them here as short term, but most likely in Q4, the items that we are going to address. These are again prioritized based on the feedback that we are getting from you. The number one ask that we got from Sumo Links and also a lot of Vietnamese customers is multiple brand settings. So it's so useful for our friends from the agency world where you're supporting multiple clients. You need to have a menu of different brand settings so that you can just apply a particular brand for a client project. And that is going to be addressed soon. But having said that, I also want to highlight the point that though we currently don't support multiple brands in a single go, but still, if you want to swap between two brands and address your different customer needs, you can easily do it by editing your current brand setting. I understand that it is a tedious process to manage multiple things, keep editing and saving, but it is still possible for you to do. So don't please carry the impression that if I set the branding once, it will be applied to all my projects. No, it's not the case. But do expect the multiple brand settings to be rolled out very soon. Well, the other item around styling, even before we launched an AppSumo, we realized that styling is one of the gaps in the product. So this was number one priority for us before all these things that I have mentioned in the bucket, first bucket earlier. But this continues to be again an important thing. So we plan to add a lot of text animations, things like lower thirds, like if this is some speaker, one of your customers is giving a testimonial, or you have a webinar video and you want to put a small ticker in the bottom, the name of the person, the role, and things like that. Expect those kind of things to happen. And also some elements, like you might want to put a graph beside a person speaking, or you want to put those nice emojis if you're creating something for Instagram and things like that. All of that would be made available through our styling package. But again, we have if I just double click on the styling and go into the details, there are several items lined up over there. But the number one priority that we are trying to give, based on again the feedback we are getting from you, is the animations part, so that you can create different styling for different clients, and the videos don't look monotonous and similar. The other ask every single day we get from our customers, thank you so much for sharing this feedback, particularly for the support on multiple languages. Now, there are two parts to this. As you know, we support the video editing scenario as well as video creation from text. Video editing scenario covers the transcription, adding captions, and creating short snippets or maybe a highlights video. Adding multiple languages in that scenario is relatively simpler for us. We already support German, Spanish, Italian, Japanese, Korean, and a bunch of languages which Vikram have shown you. But we also plan to add more languages because we have heard a lot of people asking about Dutch, Portuguese, both Brazilian Portuguese as well as European Portuguese. So expect those languages to be supported. But when it comes to text to video, it can get a little more detailed because we need to tell the AI that it's just not English language. It needs to pick the sentences in different languages, then go to this library. The tagging is not in different languages. So it can get a little tedious, but it's there on our roadmap. But we want to address this easier one, the low hanging fruit first, and then we'll move on to how we can support different languages in different languages, especially the blogs and the text which are in multiple languages. The next one is AI voiceover options. A lot of you have asked for, hey, can you guys add voiceovers from other service providers like Azure? Right now, we support AWS AI voices, but even some popular tools which have been launched on AppSumo. We are talking to them. Once we are done with other pressing items, we definitely would love to see how we can give more options for you to create videos with some naturally sounding AI voices. Now, the last but the important one, again, a lot of you have expressed concerns about the time it takes to create the videos. We have made a bunch of improvements in the last couple of weeks. One of the things that we just showed you is you can turn off the video optimization piece. What we realized when the long videos are getting created, when I say long videos, it can be about anything more than 10 minutes, 20 minutes. These videos take almost 30% of the total rendering time goes into optimization. Now, when we say optimization, what we were trying to do is bring down your file size from a few gigs to few MB megabytes of size. So that was taking a good amount of time and hence increasing the overall rendering time. So what we thought is, hey, let's give this as an option to our users. If they think that they don't need this, but they want a faster video to be rendered, you can just go to your settings and turn that off so that optimization doesn't happen and your rendering would be faster than what you're experiencing now. But having said that, I also like to underscore the point that past few weeks we have seen unprecedented interest. So we are really thankful again for that. But what it did is it did put a lot of load on our servers, and maybe I can say like this, that we were probably not prepared for this kind of adoption. So things became a little slowed down, and sometimes things kind of broken down. But most of those things have been resolved in the past few days, and we are continuously working on making this experience much faster and even easier, so that the videos that you want to create for your clients can be done in a faster time. Please note that you need not wait for the video generation to complete. That is again an FAQ that we always get. What you do is when you click on the video generation button, there's a small little icon that comes on the top. You can just click on that. What it means is the video generation would happen in the background, so that you can continue working on other projects, go to the home page, start with a new project, or edit some other project. That way, you need not wait for Pictory or video generation to happen. You'll be notified, you'll get an email notification that, hey, your video generation is completed, your transcription is completed. You can just click on that link, come back, and then download your video. So that's again one thing which would probably help you if you think that videos are taking a lot more time. Now, the last piece here is on the long term. So again, what I mean by long term is once we address all these immediate items, we want to give an option for our users to publish the videos onto the social channels directly from Pictory. You need not download the video, then go to a Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or a LinkedIn, and then upload there. So try to minimize the workflow steps, not only towards the publishing part, but even right at the beginning. If you have a video already hosted on YouTube or Vimeo, you can just give that as a link to Pictory, and Pictory will then take it from there. So that way, the download, upload, those inefficient steps can be removed, and the overall workflow can be accelerated a lot more. Now, improved AI. So all the data that we are getting from thousands of people who have adopted Pictory from AppSumo and Vidnami, all the data is being fed into our AI model. So there's a lot of learning happening. So maybe 6 months down the line or 12 months down the line, when you try to create a video with all the data that has been collected based on your behavior, your selection of sentences, highlights and highlights, which visual you liked, which you didn't like, which one did you favorite. Based on that, the AI would learn and would give you a much better result, which would again try to reduce the overall time it takes for you to create the video. The last thing is about templates. We understand that templates make things again faster for you. You can just pick a template and create a video for your client and for yourself. This is something that we will start looking at once we look at the other functionalities that you have asked for. So these are some of the items, the immediate focus items where the entire team is focused on, and some of the things that you can expect to come in a few months' time. But what I want to assure you as a closing comment is, as a product guy, I'm really excited talking to each one of you every single day, taking the feedback back to the engineering team. We have a huddle every single day in order to improve our products. So please do share with all your feedback with us. All we request from you is a little bit of a time, because there's so much of things that, as you see on the slide here, that we need to cover, but we'll make sure that we try and cover as much as possible in the best way. The other question I also want to address before I forget and pass it on to Vikram is, there's a question on how often we upgrade our product. If we say that we are working on a particular feature, does it take a month, or 2 months, or 3 months? How does our upgrade cycle work like? So we are a very agile team, a small team. So our upgrade cycles can be as less as a day or two. So if you find that something very pressing, or there's a bug there and we need to resolve it for a customer in a day's time or 2 days time, we just upgrade a prod. But typically we take about a week or two in order to complete a valuable set of features and then intimate all of you. But if there is something which gets a little bigger, needs a change at an architecture level, or maybe a renewed UX, that might take a few weeks time, but definitely not more than about 3 or 4 weeks. So that's how our upgrade cycle works like, and looking forward to partner with you and make the product much better in the coming weeks. Thank you. Over to you, Vikram.
Great, thanks, Avid. Hopefully you all found this useful, the demo and the roadmap discussion. And feel free to ask questions. We'll stay for another few minutes. Feel free to ask questions on the YouTube chat page. I already see some questions coming in, and we can start addressing some of the questions. There's one question about when the latest updates will be available. So I think, Jake, this should already be available to everyone, to the public. So if you're still having some problems, feel free to reach out to our support team, support@pictory.ai, and we can specifically try and solve that problem for you.
Yeah, Vikram, one point on that. In order to see the latest update, just make sure that you refresh the browser or the app in case you have kept it open, so that it will pick the latest updates and you can start using them.
And one other thing I wanted to add there, Abid, is for users, Pictory works best on Chrome, on Mac or PC. So we see some users trying to open it on mobile or tablet devices, and right now those devices are not supported. There are some weird issues on Firefox as well as Safari. So try to use Chrome as long as possible, and it should work pretty smoothly on Chrome. There's a question about when the AppSumo deal will end, and we don't have an answer for that. There is several discussions we're having with the AppSumo people. There's some goals and stuff that they have to meet, we have to meet. So it's not certain yet. Is there any plan to add opacity or filter to the visuals? It will be amazing to get an even overall look to the video. I think this is a really great idea, Wilson, and we'll definitely take that into consideration as a part of a brand setting. Having a filter that gets applied to all the visuals, that would be a really good idea. So we'll take that. Abid, you're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, Jake seems to still have a problem with the updated features. So Jake, feel free to reach out to us at support@pictory.ai, and one of us would help you to see what's going on there.
So there's a question: if a video is rendering, can I begin a second video project? Yes. So as Abid mentioned before, there is a little minimize button that comes up on the rendering screen. So you can just minimize that, and it will go and it'll go into the little notification tab, and you can keep doing other things on the app, and then you'll get notified when it's done. You'll get an email, as well as you'll get a notification on your notification tab that the generation is completed. There's a question about what about clickable links. So I think you're talking about embedding clickable links within a video, so that's not something that we are doing right now, because we're going to be creating MP4 files that you can then embed into any platform. So several platforms like YouTube or Vimeo, where you host the videos, will support putting clickable links on the video. Since we're not really a hosting platform, that is not something that we have considered yet, but we will be generating MP4 files, and that's our plan moving forward. So I think there was a question about having a thumbnail editor feature, and I think the question might be building a thumbnail editor. Right now, we don't have a way to build a thumbnail from a video, but I can certainly see the need for it, and because you have the video content and you can add text and create thumbnails out of it. So definitely something that we will consider.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. There was a question about the preview currently starts playing but doesn't have a slider to move it forward to the particular place, and that is a known limitation that we have right now on the preview. We have several glitches on the preview that we are going to be working on improving over the next few weeks and months. So we'll definitely be adding something like that where you can freeform drag the preview to any specific place you want. Will the multiple languages be available in tier 1 or just tier 2, tier 3? All the languages we add will make it available on all tiers. At least that's our plan right now. So it won't be limited to tier 2 and tier 3 only. Great. Thank you everybody for a wonderful set of questions and for using our platform and giving us tremendous feedback. We are super grateful to all of you in the entire community, the AppSumo community, and the Vidnami community. So thank you, and we'll be coming out with lots of great things along the way. So stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.